And we back. Now, yesterday I was checking my direct messages on Twitter and I saw one from a fan and it said, Kenny, I don't watch your videos anymore because I've lost interest in the NBA. At the end of it all, we know that the Warriors are going to be champions, so why watch a movie if you already know the ending? Now, this is a legitimate opinion by a lot of fans out there. Since the Warriors have become the most winningest team ever, some people have completely left the NBA behind. Because for them, there's no competitive balance. There's no question. So because of that, well, it's just not entertaining. It's just not fun anymore. At the end of the day, we know that most likely the Warriors will be in the championship, and most likely the Warriors will win the championship. But I'm here today to tell you, well, the NBA is so much more than the team raising the trophy at the end of it all. So to break that down, let's go back to his statement. Why watch a movie if you already know the ending? Now, personally, whenever a new Marvel film comes out, I'm there on opening night. I gotta say, I love the MCU. But walking into the movie theater, I kind of know how it's gonna end. I know T'Challa is gonna take his throne back as the king of Wakanda. I know Spider-Man is gonna defeat the Vulture. I know the Guardians of the Galaxy are gonna guard the galaxy. But that doesn't really ruin the movie for me. I'm still at the edge of my seat in the movie theater, looking at every single detail, watching what I already know is gonna happen. But then there's the rare occasion where we walk into a movie expecting to see the hero win the final fight and then snap. They don't. The powerhouse that we've seen dominating gets taken out, and that makes the experience better. Maybe this is the year of the snap. That powerhouse that we see as the Golden State Warriors is taken out. Now, though they've been dominating for a few years now, it's not like they're invincible. They were one game away of not even making it to the finals last year. And you can argue that if Chris Paul doesn't go out, well, the Warriors don't make it to the finals at all. Now, this idea that the NBA is boring and that the competitive balance is no longer there is not just one held by a casual NBA fan. We saw Charles Barkley, former MVP, and now an NBA analyst, say this: I have to get on TV and fake it for 7 months that it's not going to be the Warriors and Cavs in the finals again. And when Charles Barkley said that, I gotta admit, I felt it right here. Because me and Charles Barkley got this one thing in common, and that's that we both talk about basketball for a living. He does do it on a much larger scale than me, but it's true. We both talk about the NBA, and I gotta admit, I would love to see a new team in a championship game. I would love to see a new team raise the trophy, just because it makes it better to talk about. But when I really thought about it, what's happening right now is not anything new. The Warriors may be the most talented team of all time, but we've always had teams dominate years at a time. 1957 to 1969, the Boston Celtics won 11 out of 13 possible championships. The 70s were like the Wild Wild West. The 80s were dominated by the Lakers and the Celtics. The 90s were dominated by the Bulls. The early 2000s were dominated by the Lakers and the Spurs. Then we had the Miami era, and now the Warriors. So for a large portion of the NBA's existence, we've had an idea of who's going to win it all, but that doesn't stop us from watching night in and night out. Now, if the Warriors really ruined the NBA for you, I got one simple solution that can really help you out. As Charles Barkley said earlier, there's 7 months of the NBA regular season. If you completely ignore the Warriors for those 7 months, you can still get great basketball night in and night out. Sure, completely ignore the playoffs if you want to. You'd be missing some stuff because the playoffs are great, even though, again, the Warriors may win it all. The playoffs are still great. So you can ignore the Warriors and still have fun watching every other team. My favorite team, the Chicago Bulls, may not win over 35 games a season, but that's not stopping me from watching every single game because I want to see my young players grow. And you can get a specific thing about all teams other than the Warriors if you want to give you a reason to watch that team play. At the end of the day, sure, every team wants to compete for a championship, but that's not what the league is always about. Now I want to ask you, what's the first thing that pops into your mind if I ask you about March Madness 2018? Now for me, it's Loyola Chicago. They did not win the championship. But the first memory I have of last year's March Madness is that team, being a Cinderella team, is making it as far as they did. Honestly, I forgot who won the championship. I had to Google it because the first thing that pops in my mind is Loyola Chicago. So it's not always about the team that wins it all. It's about the journey and everything that happens along the way. Now, if you decided to not watch the NBA last year because of the Warriors ended it all for you, you missed a lot. Here are just some of my favorite things that happened last year that you would have missed if you stopped watching the league just because of the Warriors.
4 Rockets players, James Harden, Chris Paul, Gerald Green, and Trevor Ariza, literally breached the Clippers locker room, went through a back hallway that connects the Rockets locker room with the Clippers, got into the room. They were calling for Austin Rivers, Blake Griffin. Security got to them before there was any contact.
Then yesterday, he sent out the tweet that sent the NBA into convulsions. Quote, "I don't want to be here." There was some excuse from Bledsoe's side that he was tweeting about being stuck at his wife's hair salon, but come on.
The Cavs are now 1-12 when scoring less than 100 points. And we just got news, gentlemen, that J.R. Smith was suspended for last night's game because he threw a bowl of soup at an assistant coach, Damon Jones.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Literally, a fight at Bulls practice sends one player to the hospital.
Dear basketball, Glenn Keane and Kobe!
This is the first Oscar and nomination for Glenn Keane and Kobe Bryant.
Now that doesn't even include all the great shots, all the great moments that happened on the court. Those are just my favorite off the court storylines that I thought were great from last year. And if you decided not to watch the NBA because of the Warriors, you would have missed all of that. Now this year, I'm expecting to be even better. We got the greatest player in the world going to a new team, which means that, without a doubt, we got a new finals matchup. I mean, I guess Tristan Thompson don't necessarily believe that, but we know it's true. The Cavs won't be in the championship this year. And we're going to see new players rise into stardom. We're probably going to get a new MVP. Dub or no? Tell me if that's a dub. So I realized that I didn't record an outro for this video, so here's that outro. Thank you so much for watching this video. We're basically just counting down the days until the NBA regular season starts. So that's why the videos have been here and there, been missing days a bunch, because there's not much to talk about. But y'all know once the season starts going, oh, it's a GG, that we about to take it over. So for the next couple days, I'd like to see you guys give me suggestions of different videos you'd like to see me like this. I mean, a fan DM'd me and inspired me to make an entire video. So let me know in the comment section below. I'll pick some of my favorites and make videos about it. Thank y'all so much. Be back. Peace.